You know that feeling, right? You walk into a loud, crowded party or maybe a super busy restaurant, and bam! It's like a wave of pure exhaustion just hits you. Everyone else seems to be getting energized by the chaos, but all you can think about is finding the nearest exit. Well, let's get into what's really going on there. Because that feeling, it's not a flaw. It's actually a fascinating sign of a highly active, really complex mind. So let's ask it straight up. Why do you hate loud places? Is it because you're antisocial? Maybe you're just boring? For years, you've probably been told to just loosen up or get out of your shell. But psychology tells a completely different story. It has absolutely nothing to do with you being flawed and everything to do with how your brain is, well, brilliantly wired. And this is where we just flip the whole script. The world might slap a label on you like antisocial, but the reality is you're just highly aware. They might think you're boring, but you're actually a deep thinker. And what some people mistake for weakness? No, that's just a powerful biological way of being. This is the heart of what we're going to break down today. Okay, so let's start with what's happening inside your head. Because this isn't a choice you're making. It's all about your brain being built to process the world in stunning and, yeah, sometimes overwhelming high definition. The official term for this is sensory processing sensitivity. And listen, this is not a disorder, it's a trait. It basically means your brain is like a super-powered computer that, instead of filtering things out, takes almost all of it in. Think of it like this. Most brains are like a bouncer at a club, only letting the important information in. Yours has an all-access VIP pass. It's noticing all the tiny subtleties and micro details that most people just miss entirely. So for the average brain in a loud room, the focus is pretty simple. It just filters everything down to the main events. You've got the music, and you've got the conversation they're trying to have. The brain just zeroes in, right? It creates this nice, clean, simple audio track. But for you, oh, it's not a simple track. It's the entire chaotic, multi-layered mixing board. Your brain isn't just hearing the music, it's processing the music. Plus all the other conversations happening nearby, the sound of glasses clinking, the way the lights are shifting on the wall, the actual emotional energy of the crowd, all the different scents in the air, and the tiny little micro-expressions on people's faces. Your brain is trying to absorb and process all of that at once, and it leads to a system overload way, way faster. Now, let's talk about how this actually affects your body, because this isn't just some mental game. Your physical nervous system has a very, very strong opinion about all this chaos, and honestly, it's screaming for some calm. And this brings us to another really crucial concept, a low arousal preference. Now, arousal here just means stimulation. So this means your body and your mind are biologically engineered to perform at their absolute peak in low stimulation environments. It's not that you can't handle chaos, it's that your system isn't designed to thrive in it. Calm isn't just a nice to have for you, it's necessary to be at your best. And this just lays it out so perfectly. You put yourself in a calm, focused environment, and your ability to think, to create, to connect, it's off the charts, 95%. But drop yourself into a chaotic, overstimulating place, and that performance just plummets. Why? Because all your energy is being spent just trying to manage the sensory input, which leaves very little for anything else. So when you're that person standing quietly in the corner of a loud room, the world might see detachment or maybe even disinterest. But what's really happening is this profound level of observation and emotional intelligence. You're not just soaking up the manic energy, you're processing it, you're understanding it, and you're protecting your own system from it. Okay, so let's connect all this to the way you think. Because when you're taking in so much data, your mind requires a very specific environment to make sense of it all. It needs what we can call cognitive quiet. Cognitive quiet, it's that mental space you desperately need to connect ideas, to reflect, and to think deeply. When the world is just screaming around you, that ability to process things is physically compromised. You literally cannot think clearly. So for you, noise isn't just annoying. It's a direct barrier to your greatest strength, your ability to think so deeply. I'm guessing this whole process feels really familiar. First, you get overwhelmed by the noise, and your thoughts just turn to mud. So what's your next move? You instinctively seek solitude. You duck out to your car, find a quiet room, or you just decide to go home. And then, almost instantly, clarity. In that silence, your brain comes back online, and it becomes its sharpest, most brilliant self again. So when we put all these pieces together, the high-def processing, the need for low stimulation, the craving for cognitive quiet, It all leads to one single inescapable conclusion about why you feel so incredibly drained. It's the true cost of your depth. So here's the big takeaway. Your energy battery, it just drains faster in these places. We're talking maybe even triple the speed of others. That constant noise combined with small talk creates this massive mental fatigue. And that's why retreating isn't just a preference for you, it's a non-negotiable nervous system reset. That quiet space is where you get to feel balanced and actually think freely again. I really want you to let this one sink in. Your need for quiet, your tendency to get overwhelmed quickly, your preference for being alone. These things are not flaws. They are not things that you need to fix about yourself. They are simply the price you pay for having a mind that is wired for incredible awareness, deep processing, and peace. So the final question isn't about how you can change yourself, but about how you can start to honor this part of yourself. Now that you understand the powerful psychology behind your quiet mind, how are you going to build a life that actually respects your need for it? How can you turn what the world sometimes sees as a quirk into your absolute greatest strength?